It's compared to West Bengal, Assam, Manipur is a kind of subdivision, smaller than a subdivision in Bihar and UP. However, since it is a government, we take up complaints and our grievances to the government. Government is very, very helpless. Manipur is a state where multi-ethnic. I think there is no state like Manipur. We have 30 to 40 different ethnic groups, predominantly by the Meitei Hindus, but the tribes are mostly Christians. This is the picture. A kind of terrorism, experience of terrorism, and that we have been experiencing from childhood. All tribes of Nagas, not only a single one. Most of the tribes are in Nagaland, as you know. Major tribes are like Konyak, number one, Ao, Angami, Lota, Selma, so on. Then Dangkus, we are Dangkus, one of the major tribes, but because of geographical limitation, we have been here in Manipur, but Meitei, Hindu, predominant people, and then Muslims. And we took up somehow Christianity, good or bad. And that makes more different again. This is the situation. And we are especially facing right now the Kuki tribes, fugitive. They are not indigenous people. They don't belong to us. They don't belong to this country. Somehow in 1819 or so, they came under the British rule and they became servants of Britishers, and Britishers utilized them to oppress and suppress the Nagas, especially this Seto things, underground revolutionary group. And you know, the I Am as Such, Isaac and Muiwa group is the only now surviving insurgents group. Assam Ulfa is no more now. Kasi, Revolution Henrita, no more. Garo, they started, and from the time it started stopping, and Garbi, for a short while, it was there, Western Rema, so on and so forth. But I think now the only surviving revolutionary group is I Am as Such, whether we like it or not. That is why we believe the Indian authorities, especially Home in charge, Defense in charge. I know from the early 60s, Assam Rifles have been a dichotomy. Defense wanted, Assam Rifles themselves thought that they have all the qualities to become regiment rifle, like Assam Regiment, Naga Regiment. But Home Ministry does not want that to go to the defense. No, Assam Rifles are here to stay, we know. PSL, CRPF, all these are under Home Ministry. And I think the Home Minister at present is dictating what is going on here in the affairs. And that is why we have our grievance is we are the landowners, Ukhrul district, Kamchong district. And some have gone to Sadar Even Kampogu belongs to Naga people. These people came as refugees very recently, and more people flows. We ourselves in Manipur NGO, we have been telling our Kuki brothers, stop others coming from Chin Hills, especially Chin Hills of Myanmar. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. And I think it is now they are also helpless. It is not those who have lived and become friendly to the Nagas and Metis, but the makers are those who have come from Myanmar, Bangladesh, some of them. I think that is what we are facing. We are indigenous people who live here from time immemorial, and people are those who have come from outside have broken the peace and harmony of life. And the things happening, most of the experience will be what cookies are doing is an act of terrorism. That's
The cookies help them to create their own homeland since 1990s. And in the year 2017, they wanted to celebrate cookie, Anglo-cookie war. They wanted to erect very tall monuments, stone monuments. We objected. Even Chief Minister N. Biren, he rejected the story. The ousted Maharaja of Manipur, Sanajauba, he also flatly rejected the story, concocted story of the cookies. No? Even then, cookies are held them because they have strong support from government of India. In the 1990s, cookie leaders had a serious resolution with Home Minister Mr. Budha Singh, Congress Ministry, during Congress Ministry. Since then, they have started all out preparation. Their modus operandi is everything: guerrilla warfare, psychological warfare, uh, psychological warfare, and every sort that comes to their hand. They have started doing that, and now it amounts to terrorism. Maydays have called them narco-terrorists. They use drones and bombs, terrorize the people. The recent developments, I think you have already familiar. So these acts of terrorism continues till today. But government of Manipur, government of India, they refuse to declare this Kuki issue groups as a lawful organization. Our MPs and MLAs should have stood up and assert all these two groups, Kuki armed outfits, as terrorist groups. No? But since they are not speaking, we people have to stand up. And insist government of India should declare it, these two groups as terrorist groups, terrorist outfits. That is why yesterday we had a larger meeting at one town hall. No? Some of them could have attended, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. if government of India refused to declare this Kuki militant outfit and continue to support them, we have to ask government of India to apply the same yardstick with Nagas. They are protecting the Kukis and exposing us vulnerable for any danger. We are not protected. We are not safeguarded. The same government is doing that. The same law is doing that. Partiality. So it shows government of India is behind them. That is why Kukis are so bold. But we have our history. We don't believe, we reject all the concocted stories, make-up stories, manufactured stories of the Kukis. No? Since the day they started erecting stone monolith in the year 2017, no? In the name of celebrating centenary, in protecting their ancestral land. They have no ancestral land here in Manipur, Nagaland, and this Naga-inhabited area of Burma. They don't have ancestral area. They are all nomads. They have a saying, and it is their practice, that in order to be a man, a Kuki man must migrate 6 times. If not 6 times, he failed to migrate, he is not a man. So this is the way, the story that we have learned since our childhood. The Kukis are like that. And now they are making unnecessary trouble with the inhabitants, with the indigenous people of this area, this territory. So, yeah, that is what we are trying to expose to the world, that we are indigenous people native to this land, and the land belongs to us, and we belong to this.
I am Daniel Advocate, and at present I am the chairman of Manipur State Commission for Sister Tribe. In respect of inquiry, now my grievances is there is an act which is known as Manipur Village Authorities in Hill Areas Act 1956. It extends to the whole hill areas. There are 2,500 villages in these hill areas. And this act was extended since 1957. However, till today, there is no office established by the state government. In this act, under section 19, there shall be village court. But surprisingly, no village court was and is constructed till today. So what is this? Because this act, the benefit of the act is not extended in the hill area, which means the Constitution of India or the preamble of the Constitution is not extended in the hill area. I will advocate that point also. See, without office building and without court building, how can the office will run? There is no secretary beyond Jovita. And see, surprisingly, in the plain area, they have their own municipality court, municipality office, run by themselves. They have their own secretary beyond Jovita would pay, and also daily allowances. Surprisingly, in the hill area, the village authority exercised the duty of the state government, running the office without pay. What is this? Article 23 guaranteed that pay must be provided, otherwise it's amount to beggar. So I repeat, the benefit of the constitution and the preamble is not extended in the hearing area of Manipur. And another one is, in this constitution, there is a special provision which is known as Article 371C. 371C. And the president, the then president V.V. Giri, has issued an order which is known as the Manipur Legislative Assembly, which in bracket, Hearing Area Committee, Order 1972. And this order guaranteed to frame the rules and to enact the act in respect of land, forest, and marriage, divorce, etc. But till today, we have no land law. Till today, we have no rules thereof. What is this? We are maintaining our land and forest without land law, without forest rule. So, how can we progress? Here in this special provision, in respect of 371C, the President V.V. Giri, the then V.V. Giri, issued order to enact the law of forest. However, today, even after a lapse of more than 30 years, they have failed to frame the rules and they have enacted the act in respect of forest and land. And surprisingly, we have no marriage act. We have no marriage and divorce act. This is to be framed under the law. We are celebrating marriage, performing marriage in the church, administered by the Reverend Pastor. It is not recognized by the state because it is not marriage under the law. So marriage law or special marriage act of the state is not extended in the hearing area of Manipur. This act is to be framed by the state as per Article 371C. However, they have not framed the rules for us. They have not enacted the act for the peoples of hearing area and especially, particularly for the Christians. See, it is surprising. We have no marriage act till today. It is not recognized by the state. So it is a kind of mockery in one sense. The Bible says marriage is honorable in the eye of Lord. It is honorable. However, in the eye of the state, it is not honorable. Sovereign duty of the state and the primary duty of the union government to extend the benefit of the preamble and the provisions of the Constitution here in the hill area. Surprisingly, we are exercising the duty of the state in the village by village authorities without pay, without remuneration. We are running our government by ourselves.
Free.
Freely. What is this? So, let the benefit of the Constitution be extended here in the state, here in the hearing area.
Acts to contain terrorism in the country. In the year 2002, it was called POTA, and many other auxiliary acts were there. And even then, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, has shouted to the world that India is all out to eradicate terrorism. And he has made a lot of friends. Here, he accused Pakistan of sponsoring terrorism. Here, there are terrorists in the side of Afghanistan, sponsored by Pakistan. And on Indian side also, there are two groups, militant groups, sponsored by Pakistan. One is IM. IM means Indian Mujahideen. And the other is Lashkar-e-Toiba. I think you remember the incident, terror attack in the month of October last year, Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. About 20 tourists, including foreign, most of them were foreign tourists, they were killed. So Narendra Modi had launched surgical strike deep within Pakistan. We know, we agree with him, with Narendra Modi, in accusing Pakistan sponsoring terrorism. But what makes us unhappy is he is sponsoring. He himself, he accused others in the open. But within country, within India, he is sponsoring terrorism in our area. We call it terrorists. We call Kuki militants as terrorists because they have terrorized us very much. Unnecessarily, we have been put into so much trouble, so much loss of homes, lives, and threat to our children. It is terrorism. And still, government of India has not outlawed this Kuki militants. No? Maitreys have called them narco-terrorists. We call them the same thing, Kuki terrorists. So people have to rise. In a few days to come, people have to rise and fight with not Kuki, but with Assam Rifle. We have to fight with Assam Rifle because wherever Assam Rifle post is there, Kukis will operate. Only exception is Sangshak and Ukhrul. In other areas, wherever Assam Rifle post is there, Kukis will start harassing people, terrorizing people. So we have to fight with Assam Rifle very soon. That is what I can foresee. Thank you. We did. So he made he created a fund from government of India as refugee relief fund in the year 1958. Yeah. So Cookies received the relief fund, refugee relief fund over and over again, several times. These are
were deemed as likely to revolt again because Mr. Muwa is still alive. And I think that is the stigma that they are. But I think our people now who are fed up from the time of Azet Fiso, who was from Konama, biggest village in Angami area. How many Nagas were killed? How many women were raped? Countless. And after that, when NSNIM followed NNC, the pinch was felt among the Dangos. Highest, because Muiwa belongs to our tribe. So I think there's a fear still we are not able to believe India will be our protector. They will defend. However, we are still very scared. But a person like me, I hope India is not that bad. In all the countries that we find, Europe, Asia, America, there is nothing like India. In a way, a person can live, whoever, because of their parents, there's a difference, appearance, language and culture, and yet I live in Bangalore as if I was born there. Bangalore, Mysore, including Vellore. And West Bengal is such like a home for us also. They know we are from Northeast, but they love. That's why it depends on even Bihar, UP, in spite of communal things, it is livable. So the country is not that bad. And I know Tamils, for example, their cultural adherence is so that when I ask northern part of Madras, Isiko, Rofin, Isiko kidnapped. He looked at me very angry and said 140. And I said, enough, enough, Terima. I said, kunjum. Oh, 75 rupees. This is the behavior of a dumb million. 150 if I speak Hindi. But if I speak in Tamil, 75 rupees. Each community has its own adherence to their community. We know that. If we understand that India is one of the most livable countries, my experience. I have lived in Roorkee, Dehradun, then Vellore, I used to be for many years, Bangalore, I used to be 8 years. And the whole experience is, India is not that bad. Only the politicians. And today we have BJP party. Not very friendly with the tribals and Christians we feel. And when cookies harass the Nagas, I think central leaders are clapping hands. This is the trouble we are feeling. And that's very dangerous for the nation.
Section will be meetings. Meeting will be surrounded by cookies. And cookies will be surrounded by Nagas. So cookies are still not afraid because they are being protected by India. So cookies are not afraid. Meiteis are most unfortunate. If we give away some land, no, for the cookies. Meiteis are most vulnerable.
No, actually, cookies as a tribe, as a community, we shouldn't be hating so much. This is too bad. I know the general population and common people are very sad about the happening. Only the leaders, especially with the guns, they are terrorizing people. The general body, I met Kim Kang-tae, the former MP. She cried in Guwahati when I said Tatos are scared that cookies would kill all of them. Totally think I don't believe you. I said, well, that's what I. Then there was a leader, Dr. Lalpa. He said, no, you don't know my sister. You are an MP, brought up in Moirang. And he said, when I was young in Moirang, Meiteis were my friend. Boys and girls, I have no friends among the Kukis and Kantis, but Meiteis. But the day Meitei, 3 years back, begins, from that day, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to live because no more friends, no more people for me to talk. And just day before yesterday, I received a telephone from a cookie girl who used to work with the Manipur NGO. She was just crying. You think I don't know whether I am alive or not. I am breathing because I'm still alive. But I am homeless now. I don't know where to go. I think general common people is very sad about the state of affairs. But militants and the leaders who are actually to grab the land of the Metis, the land of the Nagas, and especially Gampopi area, Nagas there are small minor Naga groups like the Marams, Thangas. Total population is below 30,000. Thangar is below 15,000. And they are terrorizing the day and night. From 2 million Korean, no problem. No way. Mga sila yung tatag, zero na ang